What's up, YouTube? And welcome back to the Emperor Atheist channel with your host, the Emperor Atheist. My last video was titled, What is God Made Of? Well, this is part 2. I actually been talking about this for probably, like in a few social media groups. Been talking about it maybe the last 3-4 months. And I can't seem, I don't know, for the life of me, man. I can't seem to get, I don't want to use the term cognitive because I will be using this term later because I'm going to be dealing with what is called theological noncognitivism in this particular video. But I don't want to use the term cognitive answers that I haven't been getting from Christians. I just haven't been getting, I guess, logical, reasonable, just common sense answers. When I ask them, what is the essence of this God they believe in? I've been asking Muslims. I've been asking Mormons. I've been asking, I've been asking Lutherans, Latter-day Saints. I've been asking Christians of all type of walks of life of Christians and all of the branches, the millions of branches of Christianity and Islam. I even have a few Shiite partners that I talk to. And for the life of me, man, I should have really been recording these little conversations I've been having with all these different type of theists. There's Muslim, Christian, Mormon, Catholic, whatever. Shiite, Muslim, whatever. And it's strange because I haven't got a direct answer yet. And the answers that I have been getting are basically all different. All different. Just like I said in my first video when speaking about God, this particular God that theists believe in. What is God made of? Some people say he's immaterial. Some people say he's a spirit. When I ask them what is a spirit, they don't know. It's a spirit. It's something. I guess it's like Casper the Ghost. I don't know. It's something that floats through walls and stuff like that. It can break down its molecular structure. The hell if I know. I don't know what the hell a spirit is. And I'm in the same boat with all these theists because they don't know either. So I'm back to this subject, man, because this is the thing. This is the thing. And I seen a video dealing with it was Matt Dillahunty. He was talking about theological non-cognitivism. Now, for those of you who don't know what theological non-cognitivism is, I will actually put a link to a few things, a few courses on it in this video, and I'm going to explain it anyway. Theological non-cognitivism is basically the view that a lot of terms in theology, and mainly what I'm going to deal with, is the term God. But basically it deals with that a lot of terms within theology are non-cognitive. They basically, they don't explain anything. They don't make any sense. Some atheists or some theological non-cognitivists just say they're straight gibberish. Matt Dillahunty had a video not too long ago, and he was talking about it, about agnosticism, Gnosticism, and theological non-cognitivism. And I disagree with his video. But he did say, I have to give Matt props. Matt did say that he really didn't have a full understanding of it, and he hadn't, his study hasn't gone that far within theological non-cognitivism. But he was basically saying that basically what he was saying, and I don't want to straw man Matt here, but basically what he was saying that a lot of theological terms like God and so forth, or whatever, basically the term God, is that it can make sense or it can be cognitive. I totally disagree with that. And he kind of contradicts himself because those of you familiar with Matt Dillahunty and Iron Chariot, he's always said that terms like supernatural, and he tried to explain this in the video, well, terms like supernatural was non-cognitive. He has always said this. But on the flip side of that, he says that the term God could probably be cognitive and make sense. Well, I kind of disagree with him on that. Now, do I believe that the concept of God could make sense? I think the concept can make a little sense. But when we deal with the definition, right? Thing about it, we don't really have a definition of God. This is a non-cognitive thing. Before we can even start, right, to even debate theology, whatever the theology may be, whatever the issue may be, or this textual criticism, different belief systems, resurrections of whoever, before we even get off into anything like this, we should at least have a great starting point. A starting point with what exactly is the definition. What is your coherent definition of your deity? What is the coherent essence of your deity? Meaning, what is it made of? You say it's immaterial. Some say it's a spirit. We don't even know what these things mean. What the hell does immaterial mean? We know through definition, as I said in the first video, something that's immaterial means it's non-material. It's not made of matter. So if it's something that's not made of matter, this being is not made of matter, then what the hell is it made of? And as I asked in the first video, and I still haven't got answers to my question, if this being is such a powerful being, such an intelligent being, and an immaterial being at the same time, why would he waste so much time? And I guess time don't matter to him because he's timeless and spaceless, according to you two, which is very non-cognitive. Very non-cognitive. He's timeless and spaceless. But if he's so immaterial and timeless and spaceless, why would he waste so much time creating so much matter, so much material? As I said in the first video, so many planets and life forms and electromagnetic fields and different billions of suns and billions of planets, billions of galaxies. Why would he waste so much time with so much material? It's contradictory to me. Philosophically contradictory. It's mathematically contradictory for us to have a being in this universe that you just assert in all of your arguments. I don't care whether it's Kalam, whether it's the moral argument for God, whether it's the theological, the transcendental, whatever argument you Christians have been trying to use, and all of these ridiculous definitions, going all the way back to Anselm and Aquinas and all of these people, all of these things you have asserted, this being that you have asserted, none of you have still came up with a coherent definition of what God is. Who is he? Or who is it? I don't even want to put basically a pronoun on a he or she, because I don't know, maybe people from the people who wrote it from the Bible just basically wrote it from a male chauvinistic viewpoint. Because we do know, I mean, in other ancient cultures, there are female deities. So I can't just call this biblical God or this Abrahamic God a he, because I don't know, the creator of the universe, if there's just for the sake of argument, just say it is a creator of the universe and it is some type of great God. For as we know, the Bible, all that could just be garbage, and this deity could be unisex. I don't know. This deity could be a female. Because we do have cultures. We can't just say the Bible is it, because intelligent people know better than that. But we know we have older cultures and older books who actually paid homage to female gods. So, I mean, so we don't know if it's a he or she. This is just what y'all believe, because this is what your Bible says. Who cares about that at the point? We're trying to get to the naked truth. So I'm still waiting for a coherent answer of not only what is the essence of this being, what is this being made of, and what does immaterial mean, what is a spirit made of, and how do you Christians even know all of this? And no one else knows it but you and Muslims. I'm asking all of you this question. Jews, Christians, Christians, Jews, Muslims, everybody who believe in this immaterial timeless spaces being. Also, what is God, or who is God? The definition. Can we finally get a coherent definition of God? I've been waiting on it. A lot of us have been waiting on it. Theological noncognitivism. Theological noncognitivism just says, hey, agnosticism. I'm going to put that link inside too for those who maybe not be familiar with this particular term. Just basically means, hey man, an agnostic is one who says, until you come up with a coherent definition for this being, then I'm just going to be agnostic. It makes sense. You know what I mean? Some people say, but it makes sense, because I think we shouldn't even start to debate about a deity unless we can get a definition, a coherent definition, something that makes sense, that's sensible. Now, when we're dealing with a concept, okay, and I want to make this point, and this is what Matt Dillahunty kind of threw the position of agnosticism. He misrepresented the position of an agnostic. First of all, then I think he didn't understand the difference between, even if I accept the concept, just say I accept the concept of a creator. Even if I accept the concept, that still doesn't mean, that still has nothing to do with me rejecting or accepting the definitions, or accepting or rejecting a coherent definition. I can accept the concept, but I still need a basis for this concept. I need a definition for this concept. It's like in science, when we come up with a hypothesis. Even a hypothesis is not, that hasn't turned into a theory yet. It's not backed by facts yet. Because once a hypothesis is backed by evidence, then it's no longer a hypothesis. It becomes a working theory. But even a hypothesis, we still need something. A hypothesis is basically a concept. We still need this hypothesis to make sense, to be coherent. And this is the same thing even when I'm dealing with the definition of a deity. And this is a problem that most Christians, they keep jump roping over. They keep running around it, not answering the questions. Even dealing with these particular philosophical arguments for God, that so many new theists have been trying to bring back, all of these Anselm's argument and all of these ridiculous arguments. When you think about it, and I've always said this, whatever argument you use, you can insert any God you like. You can't just take a Kalam cosmological argument, for instance, which was William Lane Craig loved to use. You know, he loved to use this argument. You can't just take this argument and says that the universe was created, and it had to have been created by something. That was this unmoved move, or all of these other contingency arguments, or had to be created by this uncaused cause. And basically, this uncaused cause is my Christian God. It's my biblical God of the Old Testament and New Testament. You can't just do that, because the Muslims can do the same thing. So the thing about these philosophical arguments, what God have you proven? How did you insert? Where's the evidence? And I've already basically explained this. Even if we do come to the conclusion that there is an uncaused cause and it's some type of God, and even if we just jump to another stupid conclusion that it's the biblical God, let's just say, for example, it's the biblical God, you still haven't predicated from the first and second premise, okay, that this particular being, or the third premise within these Kalam argument, you still haven't predicated that this God is all-knowing, or that this God is all-powerful. That doesn't predicate anything like that. Or that is all love, omnibenevolent. None of that predicates that. So basically what I'm saying, all of these things that these Christian philosophers have been just inserting in, creating their own arguments for years, is basically hogwash. It's not evidence. And it's really not, and like I always tell people, I guess people get mad at my directness. The cosmological argument, the Kalam cosmological argument, is garbage. It's pure garbage. Even Christians, like I said, I even put a PDF in my last video from a Christian philosopher who's a friend of mine, Wes Marston. A lot of Christian philosophers don't even respect these arguments. It's garbage, period. But I don't even want to get off into these philosophical arguments, because I'm probably going to make a few more videos on those as well. But just sticking with this, part 2. What is God made of? What is the definition of God? Can we get a coherent definition? Because you can't just make stuff up and think we're supposed to respect it because you found archaic pages of something you call the Bible now. This is not evidence of a God. This is not evidence of any Jesus or anybody else resurrected from the dead. All of these, I don't care how many manuscripts you found, with all of these contradictions within the manuscripts that you don't like talking about, and the variants. But regardless of how many manuscripts you found, none of these manuscripts predicate evidence for any deity or any Jesus Christ resurrected from the dead. That's the point we're trying to make. I'll debate that with anybody, anytime. Basically, your arguments are hogwash, man. I just have to keep it real with you Christians and Muslims and Jews. It makes no sense. And people are waking up to the garbage. So I'm waiting on some coherent answers. What is the definition of God, of your God? And how do you know what it's made of? Now, if you tell me that you don't know, then the only thing I can ask you after that, then, if you don't know what your God is made of, that means you don't understand his essence. And if you don't understand his essence, then how can you understand his nature? If you're going to tell me that the Bible explains his nature. Only thing I can say then.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb.
So, you know, just try to get back with me on some coherent definitions of God and what this God is made of. Other than that, it's garbage. Oh, I forgot to do this in the beginning of my video, as I always customarily do. I thank all my subscribers, my new subscribers, and I thank y'all, man, for supporting this channel, for sharing my videos and liking my videos. I really appreciate it. Oh yeah, this Sunday, I will be starting my live podcast of Ask the Emperor Anything. So everybody, y'all can come on and ask me questions, whatever you want to ask me. I don't care. So I'll be starting this Sunday at 4 o'clock. So y'all make sure y'all tune in. But I'll be reminding everybody, of course, about this new podcast, so it won't be no big deal. But once again, thanks for watching. I'm the Emperor Atheist. I'm out. Peace.